Welcome back to another episode of the Storyteller Studio Podcast, episode 12. I'm your host, T. Hems. Happy Thursday, everybody. It's almost Friday. It's almost the weekend. I hope everybody is doing good out there in the world. Hope everybody is, um, get starting a early Thanksgiving shopping. Thanksgiving is next week. Can't believe it. Seems like November just started. But before I go any further, make sure you guys like, rate, and subscribe to the show. One click of a button will show great support and love you guys out there who've been showing love to the show. We back. I just did episode Monday, so if you haven't seen that, that is on the channel right now. Definitely subscribe to the Storyteller Studio podcast right now on YouTube and streaming through StreamYard as well. But let's get right to the show, man. A lot to talk about tonight in the sports world. Big games coming up this weekend in college football as well as the NFL. The Bears, they will be back at home. They'll be taking on Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. As a lot of you out there don't know, Aaron Rodgers is a game time decision. He's probable with a sprained wrist, I believe, right now. So he may or may not go Sunday at Soldier Field. That game will be taking place at noon. I believe either on Fox or CBS. Just check your local listings, channels, and all that. But as you can see, I have never wore a jersey on this podcast before, and I chose to wear a Luka Doncic jersey tonight because I am a Lakers fan, and the Lakers look good right now. So that will be the first topic of the night. Let's get right into it. LeBron James is back, ladies and gentlemen. The 40-year-old superstar of the team is back as the Los Angeles Lakers put belt to ass on the Utah Jazz Tuesday night with a score of 140 to 126. Let's get right into it, man. Luka Doncic, bro. You see what's going on. Luka scored 37 in the Lakers 140-126 win over the Jazz Tuesday night. LeBron James made his season debut. He had a double double with 11 points and 12 assists in the first game of his unprecedented 23rd NBA season. Can y'all believe that? LeBron James has been playing for 23 years. Bro, I remember when LeBron was on the cover of Sports Illustrated. Like, shit is crazy. Um, Luka Doncic had 37 points and 10 assists in the LA Lakers 140 to 126 victory over the Utah Jazz Tuesday night. The 40-year-old LeBron James made his season debut in the Lakers starting lineup. He played 30 minutes after missing training camp and the first 14 games due to sciatica. Y'all know what sciatica pain is, bro. You cannot move your muscles. That is the worst pain to ever have. Um, that shit hurts. Like I got family members that deal with sciatica, so it's good to see LeBron back out there, and we shall see where this team goes. Um, in other news, or in other words, Austin Reeves had 26 points as the Lakers improved to 11-4 with their third straight victory. Um, on the other side, Laurie Markkinen, he had 31 points for Utah, which they have lost 7 of 5. And their up and coming star, Keontae George, point guard, he had 33 points for the Jazz 2 nights after hitting the game winning 3-pointer in a double overtime thriller against Chicago. I did not watch all of this game. I did catch half. I caught the second half, but when I woke up and I got a chance to tap in, um, the Lakers were obviously up, so they were putting belt to ass, like I said, to start the show. Um, my assessment on this Lakers team right now, I really enjoy watching Luka Doncic play, bro. That dude, he's like the modern day Larry Bird right now. Like the shit he does on the basketball court, bro, it's it's incredible, bro. He plays at his own speed. He plays at like 40 miles an hour because he's not the fastest guy, but he got some sneaky handles and some sneaky hops. And he might dunk on you every now and then and cross or break somebody's ankles. So he's definitely top 3 for MVP right now. As you can see, I got my Luka jersey on. for good luck. Let's keep it going. We are, as a Lakers fan, our Lakers nation. Shout out to all the Lakers nations out there. Um, yeah, it's a 3 game win streak right now. DeAndre Jordan has resurrected his career right now because he has been putting up great numbers, great numbers. I can't lie. He's a double double machine right now. Austin Reeves is averaging 28 points, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if y'all know that, but he's averaging 28 points a game on the season. Like, he's been wilding. Got to give him his props. And with LeBron back, I just hope the offense flows the way it's been. I just hope the ball doesn't stick in his hand, which obviously Luca and Austin Reeves is gonna the ball is gonna run through them. But I would like to see Rui Hachimura, our small forward, get into more post plays. I think sometimes he settles for too much jump shots instead of just getting on that wing, posting up, and going to work, and putting your defender in foul trouble, and putting in offensively running turn fives. If you guys don't know the basketball term, turn five is when it's a motion offense where the point guard is bringing the ball. The point guard and the small forward is running the offense through each other, and the center is coming off of a screen to set an open shot for the shooter. Um, but yeah, man. Ronnie has also been getting more playing time as well. I know there's been a lot of hate out there for him. He did start the other night. Uh, who was that they played? Got it here on my notes. I believe it was the Milwaukee Bucks. But he has been getting more playing time, and I just didn't like how he looked the other night. That's why I was kind of blue. He was out there. He just was looking like he was in La La Land. But JJ Redick did. The Lakers head coach, he called a quick timeout, and had to put him on the bench and get his confidence back. But we shall see, man. The Lakers' next home game is tomorrow. Actually, they will be playing the NBA defending champs right now. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander and the Oklahoma City Thunder. They will be taking on the Lakers tomorrow night, and the Utah Jazz, they'll be playing the Lakers again on Sunday night. So this will be another game that we'll be facing these guys. So let's get right into the next topic. Let's move on. Big news in the sneaker culture right now out there. All my Steph Curry fans. I am a Steph Curry fan. One of my favorite point guards, top four, maybe top three, definitely top three. It would be him, Magic Johnson, and Jason Kidd. Those are my top three point guards of all time, as well as Gary Payton and as well as John Stockton as well. Um, and honorable mention, I have Chris Paul as well. A lot of people always ask me who are my top point guards of all time, but that's my list right there. I always, for this modern day generation, I always would have Chris Paul in there. Whether he wins the championship or not, um, CP3 has always been one of my favorites since he was at Wake Forest back in the early mid 2000s. So let's get right into it. I don't want to get long winded. Right now, there's a lot going on in the sneaker world. Steph Curry is leaving Under Armour. This was reported last week, but in updated news report, Steph is leaving the respected brand to find a new business partner. Under Armour and Steph Curry will end their 13-year partnership effective immediately. Curry brand, as you guys know out there or don't know, Steph Curry does have his own brand. It's called Curry Brand. He is free to find another retail partner. Under Armour plans to focus on what CEO Kevin Plank calls its core UA brand. Let's see here. The sudden announcement separates Curry Brand, which makes basketball shoes and apparel for Under Armour at a time when the sportswear brand is struggling to kickstart sales. So, meaning in the sneaker culture or in the sneaker world, um, especially right now, the sneaker culture is hit or miss. You see a lot of, the retro Jordans are sitting on the shelf. You see a lot of different Air Force Ones have increased over the last couple of several years since COVID. Um, since the pandemic, a lot of shoes have went up just due to people needing more money and to create more revenue for people to come out and buy sneakers for either their kids or just for themselves to get fresh and just to be outside and have recreation. Yeah, sorry y'all, I hate getting disturbed. um let me see. Here's a quote from Under Armour CEO Kevin Plank. He says, "And for Steph, it's the right moment to let what we created evolve on terms. We will all be grateful. We will always be grateful for what he has brought to the Under Armour team. What Curry Brand stands for, what I stand for, and my commitment to that mission will never change. It's only growing stronger." This was a statement Steph also said. He says, "I'm excited for a future that focused on aggressive growth with the continued commitment to keep showing up for the next generation." My analysis of this whole situation of Steph leaving Under Armour, I feel like it's time. I feel like you don't really see a lot of kids wearing Steph Curry sneakers unless it's for, you know, a tournament like high school kids. You might see them get sponsored by Under Armour. And I feel like Under Armour is, they're holding on. They're competing. They were only relevant because of Steph Curry and because of certain people that wear their football gear, like Trevor Lawrence and, a couple, not Trevor Lawrence, but in the past, Cam Newton was an Under Armour athlete as well. Um, I believe the San Antonio Spurs point guard, De'Aaron Fox, he also was under the same brand as Steph Curry. He was wearing a lot of Steph Curry player edition sneakers when he was in Sacramento. I remember into his, I think it was third year in the league, if I'm not mistaken, he did start wearing Under Armour and he was represented by them as well. Um, but let me get back to the topic at hand. What was I just saying? Oh, yeah. Sneaker culture is a tough culture because you have to be very popular for a lot of people to wear your shoes. You look at right now, Ja Morant. He is probably the most popular young player in the NBA right now, not named Anthony Edwards or Luka Doncic. You know what I'm saying? Kids want to wear his shoe. He's flamboyant. He's stylish. He got swag. He has pizzazz. He comes off as braggadocious, and his game shows for itself. He's high flying. He's jumping out the gym. He's dunking on people. He's doing reverse 360 layups in the game. Like, these kids are fascinated. They want to do that. All these kids that's trying to get to the NBA and get to college and get to that next level and make some NIL money. They obviously want to wear a popular player's shoe. And I had this debate with a few friends of mine over the past several months. I felt like John Morant has the best basketball sneaker in the game right now, as far as on the men's side. And on the female side, I said Asia Wilson, who just won the WNBA championship last month with the Las Vegas Aces. She's killing the sneaker game as well right now. And as you can see, even with Reebok, what they've been doing with Angel Reese with her sneakers and how gained uh she's gained a core following, not even just playing just for the Chicago Sky, just with modeling. She just did the Victoria's Secret model show. That was a huge look for her, as well as podcasting, as well as getting different sponsorships and so on and such forth. But I think Steph is gonna be okay because I think the other night he had on a pair of Kobe Bryant's. He had the Kobe Mambasita colorway on, and a lot of people were surprised. They were like, "Damn, we didn't know that." But a lot of people don't know that Steph Curry used to be a Nike athlete when he first, came in the league back in 2009. He used to wear Nikes all the time. He was signed to Nike, and then he ended up leaving and got his own brand with under the Under Armour umbrella. But I do feel like, Curry made a lot for this company over his what? How many years he's been in the league? '09, about 16, 17 years now. Um, with the split, I believe it says here the company now expects his shoe to cost 255 million with the restructuring plan that they have in place. So it'll be between 255 million, 95 million more than it previously said, including the separation of the Curry brand, additional contract terminations, impairment charges, and severance costs. So it says here, what else it says in my notes here? Under Armour's basketball business, including the Curry brand, is expected to bring in between 100 million and 120 million in revenue during the current fiscal year, which will end early next year. So I believe next year will be the last of the Curry sneaker that will be dropping. So we'll see what happens next with Steph and where he'll be um, showing some sneakers with maybe Adidas, maybe Nike, maybe he'll just stay with the Curry brand, or maybe he will create his own shoe. Well, we shall see, and we'll stay tuned. Y'all stay tuned as well. Let's move on to the NFL, man. Deion Sanders' son, the young star, the young lad, the young whippersnapper. Shador Sanders is finally getting his first start this Sunday. Finally, God, man, it seemed like this boy was not finna see the field this year, but he is finally getting his first start this Sunday versus the Las Vegas Raiders. Let me go to my notes right here. Give me 1 second. Also, right now the Buffalo Bills. This is the start of Week 12 tonight on Amazon Prime. The Buffalo Bills are facing off against the Houston Texans. C.J. Stroud and the crew. The game is actually being taken place in Houston right now. So if you got Amazon Prime, tune into that right now. I think it's only like 3 or 4 NBA games on tonight. Nothing too spectacular. I did see the Milwaukee Bucks are taking on the Sixers right now. Giannis is out. Milwaukee Bucks superstar Giannis Antetokounmpo is out for the next several weeks. And in another injury news, San Antonio Spurs big man Victor Wembanyama, Wemby, he will be out for the next few weeks as well. A lot of guys, a lot of injuries right now with certain players, man. I don't know what it is. I just feel like guys are just either they're playing too many minutes or I don't know what it is, but we'll stay tuned. But let me get right to the shits right here. Shador Sanders will be making his first NFL start. Coach Kevin Stefanski announced on Wednesday as a starting quarterback right now, Dylan Gabriel remains in the NFL concussion protocol. A son of Pro Football Hall of Famer and current Colorado Buffaloes football head coach Deion Primetime Sanders. Shador Sanders began his NFL career in Cleveland as the number 4 quarterback, but has slowly made his way up the depth chart and will now make his first start in Week 12. Shador will become the 42nd quarterback to start a game for the Browns since the franchise returned to Cleveland in 1999. Damn, that was a long time ago. Since then, the Cleveland Browns have had 42 different starting quarterbacks, and I don't got enough time to name them off. So this is crazy. 42 starting quarterbacks. I just was thinking about how many quarterbacks the Bears have had in the last 5 to 10 years, and I know it's definitely been under that number. We went through a lot ourselves, but we gonna get right into them in a few. But as you guys know by now, if you haven't been living under a rock, Shador was picked in April. He was the 5th round pick of the draft. He was the 144 pick in the draft in the 5th round. Um, the not Buffalo, I'm tripping, y'all. The Cleveland Browns just lost their last game on Sunday to the Baltimore Ravens at a score of 23-16. And Sanders did get his first play of the season. He completed 4 of 16 passes for 47 yards and an interception, and he was also sacked twice. Coach Steven, Coach Browns coach Kevin Stefanski confirmed after Sanders' debut that those were the snaps he had taken alongside the starting offense in any setting, and Sanders acknowledged the need to develop chemistry with the starting unit. Starting quarterback Dylan Gabriel has not been cleared to practice, so Sanders will get those valuable practice reps in preparation for his first start versus the Raiders on Sunday. All right, I know that's a lot, but let me break this shit down. I feel like Shador should have been starting. Rule number one. Don't forget rule number two. He should have been on that field a long time ago, weeks ago. I know they felt like he wasn't ready. He was a fifth round pick. He was this, he was that. Fuck all that. That boy should have been out there. Dylan Gabriel he ain't much better than Shador. You know what I'm saying? They were top quarterbacks coming out of college last year. He was coming out of believe it was Oregon, and Shador came out of Colorado. And coming into the draft, everybody thought that Shador was going to be a top five pick, at least top 10, if not five. But like I said, this is the week for Shador to shine. I've been telling people this once he got once I knew that he was going that they finally put him into the game last week. I said, "Oh, he's going to start the next 7-8 games," because now this is when football season really gets down. This is when the season starts for real. Teams are starting to get their playoff push, and the elite teams separate from the trash teams. And in the AFC, the Cleveland Browns have been in the dumpster for the last I don't know how many years. They were in the playoffs about 2 seasons ago when Joe Flacco, the quarterback they just traded to Cincinnati, he got them to the playoffs when Deshaun Watson had got injured. So, you know, I don't know how he's gonna play Sunday, but I'm just gonna pray for the young bro and just hopefully he has a standout game. And then they're playing the Las Vegas Raiders. Like they're probably the worst team in the NFL right now. They're damn near just as bad as the Cleveland Browns is. So this is going to be the motherfucking 2B game of the week. So definitely, I'm gonna tune in and watch some of that game as well while I'm watching the Bears, just flip flopping through channels. So give me 1 second, y'all. Make sure you guys like, rate, and subscribe. I cannot talk today. I don't know what's going on with me. Definitely share this because I got a lot to say. I'm a very informative brother, and I just want to get the news out there to y'all and make y'all love my content. But let's get into the next topic right here. Let me get into my notes real quick. Hold up. All right, sorry y'all. Just trying to pull my notes up right here. Okie dokie. Let's get right to the shits. All right, Bears, week 12. We are 7-3. We won our last 4 games, brothers. We have beaten the Bengals, the Giants, and hopefully this will be 4 on Sunday. I meant to say 3. We beat the Bengals, we beat the Giants, and last week we got our revenge on the Minnesota Vikings, our rivals in our division of the NFC North. Let's see over here. Caleb Williams' pocket presence is going to be very key in this Sunday's game versus the Steelers. When dealing with the Pittsburgh Steelers defense, the first position group to prioritize a game plan are for the edge rushers T.J. Watt, Nick Herbig, and Alex Highsmith. They have combined for 18 of the team's 33 total sacks, and the trio has accounted for 90 total quarterback pressures. Bears head coach Ben Johnson described Watt and Highsmith as werewolves who possess some of the best first steps in the NFL. There is an important rule that a quarterback must follow when playing those type of defenders who have such a quick get off. Here's a quote from Coach. Those guys on the edge, I think they do a phenomenal job and put a lot of stress on the quarterback, Johnson said. So we have to be very disciplined in the depth of the pocket from a quarterback perspective. Make sure we're not getting too deep because they can run around and tackle in a hurry. It doesn't matter who you are in this league, there are darn good players. This means that Caleb Williams must play at the proper depth required on a specific concept. Offensive coordinator Declan Doyle highlighted what could happen if Caleb isn't disciplined in that area of his game. Pittsburgh's edge rushers can get to the top of the pocket pretty quickly, so you got to make sure that as the quarterback continues to lose depth, you start putting the tackles in a challenging position where they don't know where the quarterback is. They're always trying to put themselves between the rusher and the ball, and so the deeper you get, the harder that comes, the harder that becomes on those tackles. So basically, they're saying that Caleb has to get the ball out quicker to his receivers and his running backs and his tight ends so he doesn't get sacked in the pocket. And he also has to be very aware of when to get out of the pocket and run for a first down or run for a second down and get out of bounds so we could get extra yards up the field. That's basically what they're saying, how I'm breaking it down. There, what else we got here? What else we got here? Aaron Rodgers is probable for Sunday. He's dealing with a wrist injury right now. I'm praying that he does not play so we could get to this 4 game winning streak that we need and we can improve to 8-3 and put belt ass on the Pittsburgh Steelers because they looking very mid right now. They were a top. They're still 1 game, I believe, ahead of Lamar Jackson, the two-time MVP, and the Baltimore Ravens. As you know, they're on a 3 game winning. Going, I think 4 games they won. No, 3 games. They're on a 3 game winning streak. So if the Steelers lose on Sunday, the Ravens will be in first place, and I know they don't want that. And as a lot of you football fans out there know, the AFC North is the black and blue division of the National Football League. But we shall see. I do believe the Bears are going to win on Sunday. I have this being a close game. I don't have it being a blowout. For all you betters out there, the spread right now is -2.5, and the over under is 44.5. Right now, the money line for the Bears is -142, and for the Steelers, it's a +120. And a lot of people right now have the Bears winning -3. The health of Aaron Rodgers definitely weighs on whether the Steelers can stop the red hot Bears right now, and it's too hard to back Pittsburgh with that lingering. So I'm riding with my Bears. Bear down. You heard? All right, let's move on to the next topic right here. Let's get into some basketball, NBA. You heard? Let's go to the D real quick. Pause. Hold on real quick. We got the Detroit Pistons, man, the hottest team in the NBA right now. Can you believe it? The Detroit Pistons are the hottest team in the NBA. Do you know how trash the Detroit Pistons were a few years ago? They were giving their fans like dollar tickets and free hot dogs and shit a couple years ago. So this is crazy work. Let's see right now. The Detroit Pistons, man. They are one of the hottest team in the league right now as their superstar Cade Cunningham has become criminally underrated in one of the most important skills, and that is moving the rock and being a passing point guard. He clearly has been on a mission this season to turn around this team, and he's doing whatever it takes for this team to win. Give me 1 second. Let me find my notes right here. Give me 1 second. Hold up. All right. Damn, I can't find that shit. What the fuck? Give me 1 second, y'all. I'm trying to find my damn notes right now. Here we go. All right. Sorry for the wait. The Detroit Pistons won their 11th straight game the other night with their longest winning streak in 18 years, a score of 120 to 112 over the shorthanded Atlanta Hawks. Right now, the Atlanta Hawks are without their superstar point guard Trey Young. He's dealing with a strain injury right now. Yes, Trey is dealing with injury right now, and the Atlanta Hawks, they have been up and down. Their record right now is actually 9-6. They're not that bad, and the Pistons improved to 13-2. I believe Detroit is first in the Eastern Conference right now, so that is huge. Um, Kay Cunningham returned from injury with 25 points and 10 assists as the Detroit Pistons won their 11th straight game. Um, Jalen Duran had added 24 points for the Pistons, who have their best start since going 15-2 out of the gates since 2005 2006. That team finished 64-18 and reached the Eastern Conference Finals. The Pistons have the NBA's longest winning streak this season and their longest since an 11 game winner during the 2007 2008 season, the last time they won a playoff series. That team went 59-23 and also reached the Eastern Conference Finals. Two guard Duncan Robinson had 14 points, including three pointers in the first 5 minutes for an early spark for the Pistons, who also beat the Indiana Pacers at home on Monday. Kay Cunningham became the first player in Pistons history with 25 plus points and 10 assists in 5 consecutive games played. I do believe this year, I'm not Caleb, thinking of Bears. Kate Cunningham will be an all star this year. I think he has the chance to be in the MVP candidate conversation. I don't think he'll win it, but I do believe he's been balling. He did have a 46-point triple double about a week and a half ago against the Washington Wizards, and they actually did win that game as well. I believe they went to overtime and won. Um, Cade is balling, man. You could definitely tell he's been locked in this summer. I don't know who he's been training with, but I do believe he just has a silky jump shot now, bro. Like the way he brings the ball up, his handles is crazy. The way he posts up, the way he sets picks and pop off the top of the screen. Like he's definitely one of the top 10 point guards in the NBA right now. Like maybe even top five. But the shit he does, bro, at 6'7", 6'8", he's a big guard. Like that's damn 6'7", 6'8" is like shit. I'm trying to think who's 6'7", 6'8". That's like Paul George or somebody. Like if Paul George was a guard, like not to compare him, but if Carmelo Anthony was a point guard, he would be K Cunningham. Because that's a great comparison. Like, and another guy, Paulo Banchero, point guard of the Orlando Magic. Those two guys, you could tell they watched Carmelo, and their games mirror each other very, very well in a interesting way. Um, I'm excited. I really haven't. I've watched maybe two Pistons games this year. Um, three at that because I do watch. Damn near every team that I can. That I have a favorite player on each team in the league, and this team I think has a chance to make some noise. I think everybody's been talking about the New York Knicks and Cleveland and Boston. The teams that were in it last year that did not make the finals. The Indiana Pacers made it. They had a Cinderella NBA Finals run, but injuries has messed them up. I think the Detroit Pistons could get to the Eastern Conference Finals this year if they keep this up because the East is very trash right now. As you know, Giannis Antetokounmpo is hurt in Milwaukee right now, and Cleveland. I think they'll be in the mix, but I don't like how the New York Knicks look right now, bro. I truly believe they should have kept Tom Thibodeau because I'm not a fan of Mike Brown's coaching. I just feel like he's too timid and he's not fiery. Like Tibbs was getting on Karl Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson ass last year in the playoffs. And that's the type of coach they need. They don't need no soft ass coach because you ain't gonna win with no soft ass coach. You gotta hold your players accountable, whether they do good or don't. So that's how the game goes. Alrighty, let's move on to our Chicago Bulls. Back to back wins this week, you heard? Let's get right to the shits, man. Try to get my notes right here. Hope everybody having a good Thursday. Breaking news. For all my LaMelo Ball fans out there, Lonzo Ball's younger brother. He says he's open to a trade from the Charlotte Hornets. So it does look like they will be parting ways soon, probably in February when the trade deadline comes. Usually that is after All Star break. So we shall see what takes place with that. Let's see what we got here. The Chicago Bulls needed a late game heroic from superstar center Nikola Vucevic, and he hit the game winning shot on last night in Portland. Um, this is a big shot that he hit because he hit a 3 pointer at that. And you know, Vooch is a guy that's one of the best centers in the league, easily top five. The Chicago Bulls sit in seventh place right now. They are ahead of the Philadelphia 76ers. The Bulls record right now is 8-6. Last night they won of a score of by 1 point. Actually, they won 122 to 121. The night before that, a couple nights prior, they beat the Denver Nuggets on Monday at a score of 130 to 127, which was very surprisingly. Let me read off some stats right here for you guys. Modest Buzelis, he had 11 points last night. I new player, new addition from the Cavs we got over the summer, Isaac Okoro. He finished with 13 points. The big man in the middle, Niko Vucevic, what they call him, Vucci man. He had 27 points and 8 rebounds. He hit the game-winning shot for us to win in Portland last night. Josh Giddey had a slow night. He had about 9 points, 13 assists, and 5 rebounds. And we got 25 points from our main man, Kobe White. And my dog, Io DeSumo, gave us 14. Shout out to Io, man. Big shout out to him. He's been having a great year as well. There's been a lot of rumors with this team, man. Is this team going to break up? Are certain guys going to be traded? Kobe White's name's been out there. Vooch, Io DeSumo as well. Um, I feel like this team has a lot of guards. I think we do need to get more wings. We need, meaning another, maybe a few more small forwards that could really defend and offensive rebound and score. Scoring is the main key in the game right now. If you ain't putting up numbers in the hundreds, you ain't winning in today's NBA. And if you can't hit the three, you will not succeed. And if you don't play defense, you won't win a championship. As you saw OKC taught us last year. And the year before that, the Boston Celtics. So um I do believe they need to move on from Patrick Williams. This guy was the number 4 pick in the 2020 draft. He's been in the league for 5 years. They were calling him the baby Kawhi Leonard. I don't know why they even did that because he ain't no goddamn Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard is a two-time NBA champion, two-time Defensive Player of the Year, and a multiple-time All Star. And his resume is long. His resume speaks for itself. So yeah, he ain't no Kawhi Leonard, but I do believe he got to go. Dalen Terry, he's another guy who's been on the team for the last few years. They ain't really playing him. He could go. Javon Carter, he could go. Jalen Smith, I do like Jalen Smith a lot. We signed him from Indiana last year. He's actually had a good year this year. He actually can shoot the three. If you leave him open, he rarely misses. So he's been a very key big man off of the bench. He gives solid minutes. He actually offensive rebounds. He blocks shots. He's a solid big man. He wasn't doing this in Indiana. He was playing behind guys like Miles Turner, who's now in Milwaukee with Giannis Antetokounmpo and Bobby Portis and those guys and Doc Rivers. So yeah, man. The next game for the Bulls, I believe, is it tomorrow? Let me see here. Uh, Give me 1 second, y'all. Yes, tomorrow NBA Cup game. We will be back at home taking on Bam Adebayo and Eric Spoelstra and the Miami Heat, and that game will be at 7 o'clock. So make sure you guys tune in. Chicago Sports Network, I believe. Stacey King and Adam Levine, they will be on live and tune into that. Go Bulls. All right, let's get right into the next topic. Um, Dallas Mavericks, man. As you can see, like I said again, I have on my Luka Doncic jersey for good luck. The Dallas Mavericks have been rumored to explore trade options for Anthony Davis, and if traded, where would Anthony Davis be a great fit? I do believe they will trade Anthony Davis because, as you can see, AD has been injury prone, and the last few years when he was with the Lakers, they were trying to give LeBron was trying to give him the keys and let him take over and be the star. As you can see, he's done with Luca, and AD ain't no Luca. I could tell you that. My analysis on what's been going on with Dallas the last week or so. As you know, last week they fired GM Nico Harrison due to him trading Luka Doncic to the Lakers for AD. Fans have been pissed off the last 9 to 10 months, and they wanted Nico out of there because every time they had a home game, the fans were yelling, "Fire Nico! Fire Nico!" Even when Mark Cuban went for a game, he was in disgust just looking at the crowd, for them wanting a man to be fired. But I feel like they waited too long. There was no need to keep this man around when you trade your best player for an aging superstar that's injured. A guy that can't play versus a guy that just took you guys to the NBA Finals, a man that averaged 34, 9, and 9, and you traded this man for no reason. He was already the superstar of the team. You guys were just in the finals a year and a half ago versus the Boston Celtics. And now Luca is in LA cooking, putting belt to ass every night on a nightly basis. He's averaging 37, 9, and 9, leading the NBA in scoring. And I'm loving it. As a Lakers fan, I can't complain, bro. Like, this is what we wanted. This is what we needed. This is the shit that LeBron wanted. LeBron needed another superstar next to him to take over anytime. And Luca does that. And I ain't gonna lie, Austin Reeves, he keep playing like this. A lot of teams are gonna be knocking at his door because he getting paid this summer. This upcoming 2026. I could tell you that. The Lakers gonna have to open up that checkbook and get that man a few hundred million or something like that. Something nice. You feel me? Um, Second part of that question: if Anthony Davis is traded, where will he be a great fit? I've been hearing the Bulls been rumored for him to come back to the crib. As y'all know, AD is from Chicago. He's from the South Side. He used to play at Perspectives High School over there on 79th. Um, I don't know. I can't even answer that question right now. I don't know, man. I just think the whole situation is this. They had the number one pick. They drafted Cooper Flag. I just think Dallas just needs to build around Cooper Flag and Kyrie. That should be their big two. I don't. There's no need for a big three in the NBA anymore. This isn't when LeBron, Bosh, and Wade. That era of basketball is over. That was damn near 15 years ago. Like, we moved on from that. Like, if you got a big two and great role players around, you could win a championship. OKC just proved that last year, and same as Boston in 20 last year in 2024 with Jalen Brown and Jason Tatum. All they had was great role players around them, and they won a championship. The Drew Holidays, the Derek Whites, the Kristaps Porzingis. These guys were stars on other teams. Al Horford's, the reigning six man, Peyton Pritchard. You got guys that can shoot and play defense. You are gonna win a championship. So I think that's what whoever's the new GM of the team, that's what he needs to do. Jason Kidd, they need to give him more option on who I think they should get, but that's not his job. He's only there to coach. And I think he made a huge mistake starting Cooper Flag at the point because Cooper Flag ain't no goddamn point guard. He is a small forward, power forward. Let that man play his natural position and do work, and so he could either be the rookie of the year or be in the running for the rookie of the year. Either or. But Anthony Davis, your ass is out of there, bro. See you. And last but not least, let me get to the last topic of the night. Thank y'all for tuning in with me today. I appreciate everybody that's been rating and subscribing and sharing the content. Appreciate y'all. Much love. I do want to do a vlog. I want to start vlogging when I start going out to more sporting events. I gotta see what Bulls game I want to go to in the next weeks to come, or even going into the new year. I was looking at when they play the Lakers. I gotta see how much the tickets are again. Also, if you guys need any promo codes for any concert or ticketing events, use my code Arena10. That's spelled ARENA 10. You get 10% off your first purchase. I know it's a few concerts coming up in the city and different games. Like I said, the Bulls play the Heat tomorrow for the NBA Cup tournament. That's going on with all the 30 teams in the league. So definitely, man, use that promo code Arena10 on SeatGeek right now. The best concert and ticketing app. I use SeatGeek all the time. Like I said last week, I just went to see Drewski on tour with me and my girl. Shout out to you, babe. We definitely want to see that. And yeah, man. Last topic of the night. We got some. Let's get into some interviews, man. Max B is home. I did not get a chance to say welcome home, Max B. Shout out to the Wave. Shout out to the whole Harlem. Shout out to everybody up there on 139 145. You know I got family in Harlem, so I know a lot of people in Harlem. Shout out to everybody on 125th and Lenox. Shout out to everybody on 119th and Morningside. Shout out to everybody up at Melba's Soul Food Eatery. Amy Rules. Shout out to Ferg. Shout out to everybody, man. You know I love Harlem, man. Harlem is like a second home in my heart, as well as Brooklyn, man. Um, yeah, man. Max B is home, man. Max B been home for about what, a week and a half, 2 weeks now. He did an interview yesterday with Cameron and Mace on Cameron's show Talk with Flea. You guys could check that interview out right now on the Revolt YouTube channel. Max is home, man, and Max just was going down memory lane on how him and Cam and Mace, they all came up and grew up together in Harlem, and how he used to see Mace on the block. Mace used to pull up in the big body Benz, and Max would be like, "Yo, man, let me hold $100," and Mace, pull out his wads. When Mace got his deal with Bad Boy and Diddy and all them, Mace was the man in Harlem. Mace was the guy. Like a lot of you hip hop, all my hip hop fans and hip hop lovers out there, I don't think y'all know how big Mace was. A lot of this generation don't really know Mace like that. They just know him now because he's gotten back with Cam, and they got a sports show. They think, oh, that's the podcast guy. They do the sports show. Nah, Mace was that guy. Like to a point, him and Jay-Z even had like a little back and forth competitions, because they both was hot, but Mace was on fire. When that Harlem World album dropped, bro, that shit was the hottest shit moving in '97. So me, y'all get long winded, but Max B, it's good to see Max home, man, because I am a huge Max B fan. I remember when Max B was moving around with Dipset back in the days and Bird Gang, Stack Bundles, rest in peace. He had the whole Gang Green movement with Al Pac and Mac Mustard, and he had the DVDs on Smash, man. He was on Smack DVDs. He was on Come Up DVDs. Up Zero. Shout out to Sub Zero. Shout out to Fendi. Shout out to Smack Beasley, the whole URL movement back when Smack was doing Smack DVD. He was everywhere. From like '06 to '09, there was no mixtape circuit or any DJ. They were playing Max B records in New York or just throughout the tri-state area. I remember he had Connecticut on Smash. Like every time I used to see him out there, he used to be posting on, back in the MySpace era, like he would post, "Yo, I got a show in CT." Him and French, when Montana, that is, they were doing the Coke Wave movement. But he talked about how he was just winding down the days, just clocking the days, getting his mentals right, working out, drinking his waters, not smoking and trying to get his mind right to, come home to his kids and just to live to see another day. and knew that he had a countdown day to come home because he was sentenced to 75 years for robbery because that was his third strike. But he ended up getting pardoned, I think, when like right before Obama got out the office in 2016. And then I remember Barack Obama had pardoned a lot of people, and he had signed a letter, a document saying like certain prisoners were able to get pardoned in a few years of their sentence. And from he got his sentence cut down from 75 to 20, and then 20 to I believe it was 9. So a lot of people, there's been rumors going around. I've been seeing niggas like Whack 100. You know, he think everybody is a snitch. Like that nigga look like he be on some police ass shit anyway. But I ain't seen no paperwork on Max B snitching. So until then, whenever I see it, then I'll say I could say that. I don't put mustard on people's jackets like that. If I don't see black and white documentation, I ain't calling no man a rat. He ain't 6ix9ine, and he ain't a couple other rappers out here that be telling. But it's good to see Max home. I did see today he is dropping an album on Black Friday. I think it's called Public Domain 7. I'm sure French Montana will be on there. That's his brother. You know, French is the only rapper in the industry that held that man down, that really, really held him down. Because when the industry tried to blackball French after Max got locked up, those two stayed together and they definitely put on for New York City and with the BX and the Bronx and Harlem. They brought both of those boroughs together and they made history. Shout out to Dame Grease too, man. I did see Dame Grease in one of the videos they posted in the stew. I heard a couple new vibes those guys were working on, man. So shout out to Dame Grease, legendary producer. You know, he was responsible for the Rough Riders sound. You know, he actually produced Get At Me Dog for DMX. One of DMX's first, really DMX's first big record, Get At Me Dog. He did that. He also was one of Max B's primary producers back in the days. And shout out to my boy Harry Fraud, one of the best white boy producers in the game. I did see him and Max have reunited, so that's definitely dope. You know, I've always been a fan of Harry Fraud's music, from him doing projects with Currency and Smoke Dizzle and Larry June and a lot of other dope independent artists in the game. Let me see what else topic we got here. Shout out to the wave, man. Keep it wavy. Ow. You know the vibes. Clarissa Shields. Clarissa Shields was on Club Shay Shay yesterday, and she was talking about who she wants to fight next. You know, she recently signed an $8 million contract for some representation. So promotion actually that is. Um, Also, she is now engaged to her boyfriend Papoose. They are engaged, but uh, the problem with that is he's still legally married to Remy Ma. So I don't know when he will sign that documentation, if he ever will, but only time will tell. And I will find the business that pays me, respectfully. Um, Clarissa Shields, man, she was on Club Shay Shay yesterday, and it was a segment in the interview. I saw a little bits and pieces. I haven't watched the full interview yet, but the parts I did see, she was teaching Shannon Sharp how to, work the punching bag, as you know, that's a term that boxers use when you're, getting your workout in on the punching bag, showing them how to throw a right jab, showing them how to throw an uppercut and a right hook, and she basically just wants to continue being great. Um, I did see that. I believe she said she wanted to take on Kate Taylor, with that being one of her dream fights come upcoming. I don't know who she wants to fight next after she just fought back in July. She fought Lana Daniels. I was present. I was in the building for that fight at the Little Caesars Arena in Detroit. As you know, she's from Flint, Michigan, so that's not even far. That's like Chicago to Indiana. You know what I'm saying? So, um, Yeah, man, Clarissa, she's making a name for herself, man. She's building an empire. She's only 30, and she has a lot of great boxing left in her. Uh, they also spoke on the Layla Ali debacle. I don't even know why the fuck Layla Ali was trying to come back to boxing, bro, because you damn near almost 50 years old. I do want to see you get knocked the fuck out and put on your back pockets. So it's best off you find some other ventures to, you know, get money in because fighting a 30-year-old boxer right now ain't worth it. So we just gonna leave well enough alone. But definitely appreciate you guys for tuning in tonight. Thank you. Happy Thursday once again, everybody. It's almost Friday. It's Friday Eve. Appreciate everybody out there that's been showing love and showing support. Make sure you guys get your Christmas shopping in early. Try and start this week if you can. I know the link cards is back popping because I did see a lot of people up in Walmart over the weekend. So definitely make sure you get your turkeys, your hams, your greens, your mac cheese, yams, and all that. Your apple pies, your pumpkin pies. Get everything you need, man, because it's definitely Thanksgiving is less than a week away. It'll be here next week, Thursday. So Black Friday as well. And I know a lot of people getting their shopping in as well. I will probably be a late bloomer, so on that. But I definitely will be in them stores probably here and there. More than likely ordering stuff than just shopping. You know, shout out to Amazon, my best friend. So definitely make sure you guys rate, and subscribe to the Storyteller Studio podcast. Also on Instagram, you can find me at Banco Popular 33 and on Facebook at Tev Hemmings. Follow me. I'll chop it up with y'all. And yeah, man, that's it, man. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. This episode is called Business is Business, episode 12. We will be back next week. I will try to do a show. I'm trying to do 2 episodes a week as I move forward, just because I think that gives me more of a grace period to prepare different topics throughout the week. And Mondays and Thursdays is a great time to record. So start of the week and coming to the end of the week. It's a lot of things that happens in the sports world and just through music and current events. Please make sure you guys rate, and subscribe to Stories to Your podcast. Love you guys. Peace, and we out.